that we are discussing is about karma, and that we can never get what we really want in life. I think what I'd like to say here as a starter point is that it really depends if something is so unrealistic. If you are wanting that, then that is what is a thing that you may not be able to get something. Ask Sanjay about it and his view about desire and how to achieve that.
See, desire has a very positive side to it called Ichha Shakti. Extremely positive side. Everything. Who could have imagined that man is walking on the moon? Who could have imagined? I mean, do you think our forefathers would have imagined that? Without the desire, you think we would have achieved it? And is it not man who has achieved all these things? When we talk of businessmen, this guy Dhirubhai Ambani, he was filling gas in petrol bunks, and he's a multi-billionaire. Why? Because he had a desire. They say lucky are those who can dream dreams and are willing to pay the price to achieve it. So it is very wrong to say that you don't get what you desire. Of course, you always get what you desire. The problem is, did you desire right? And did you desire enough? Two factors. Did you desire right? If your desire is right and is not harmful for others, then it should manifest. If it is harmful for somebody else, that means that somebody else has to let go of what he wants, has to have a suffering associated, and then your desire may not manifest.
And Sanjay, also the point is this, that we take the concept of being desiring in a worldly sense, but if you are wanting spiritual things, then in that area, then they say that you have to control your desire. Whereas on a worldly sense, then if you don't desire, you won't achieve that.
That's a very peculiar thing, you know. They say the whole concept of bhakti itself is desire. If you, it's the desire. That's why you said, no, desire can be very positive. When you desire to be one with God, then only you can be one with God. If you never desire to be one with God, how can you be one with God? So all spirituality is, again, the Ichha Shakti is the root to everything. So without desire, there is nothing. And to say that you don't achieve, who says you don't achieve? Meera achieved Krishna. In fact, it is recorded that when she was given poison, she took the poison, turned around, and when she turned back, and just about to leave her body, when she turned back and her husband saw her face, it was Krishna. So of course, you achieve that oneness. And she achieved the oneness. But then she had to leave her body to do that, and it happened. The question is, what do you desire, and are you willing to pay the price to achieve it?
That's right. And I think maybe a lot of people have ideas that they desire something, and it's only in a mental thing, and they say, oh, I'm not getting it because they are not putting enough effort into it. So thanks, Sanjay, about clarifying that. And Andrew, you have anything to say?
Yes, in the yogic philosophy, it's very clear that if there's any desire, eventually it will manifest. So how long does it take to manifest depends on what we could call the sat, or the purity of consciousness. So if a person has a great deal of purity, anything they think will just come about. Otherwise, there's a gap. But fortunately there's a gap, because if the mind is not pure, we sometimes want things which are not good for us. You know, you can imagine something, that some bad thing is coming to you, but you thought of it, it'll come. So it's good that it doesn't come rushing at that moment, you know. What I mean, so that's the basis of all these self-help gurus and their workshops, is because that mechanism is there in nature. And so they say, okay, you write down on a piece of paper what you want and think about it, then you forget about it. Why? Because it's explained very clearly in the Yoga Sutras, the technique of how everything manifests. But so and you also have to understand that not everything can come to this body. Like one of my teachers, he was asked by some interviewer, some journalist, about this. He said, look, I'm living in this little house, very small, but if I became the president of India, this house would be too small. So what he was meaning was that a body has a certain capacity. So if you want to have something that's beyond the capacity of that body, you will have to drop that body and take another body. This was the point. We should take that a serious point, because eventually that thing you want will come about, but maybe not in this lifetime. You see, so that's why the gurus say, don't worry too much about accumulating this and that. What you really want is desire what is good, which is ultimately the knowledge of, it's God, it's the knowledge of truth.
What you're pointing at basically, Andrew, is now filtering the desires. Filtering the desires. Filtering the desires as sattva, rajas and tamas on the basis of the gunas.
Yes.
That's true.
Except that one has a limited ability to filter one's own desires, because after all, we have thoughts, but we don't even know where our thoughts are coming from. Why did this thought come in my mind? We don't know. We say it's my thought. How can I say it's my thought? I didn't initiate it. It just came into my mind, and now it's torturing me, or whatever, entertaining me, you see. So that's why the knowledge of the self is something much more useful than trying to appease the desires that arise in the mind.
Exactly. And even the foods that we eat have such a profound role in the kind of thoughts that are generated.
Exactly.
You're so right. So why the whole point is, in the first place, you got to be clear whether it is just a thought or it is a real desire. If it is a real desire, you will have a real manifestation. If it is just one of those dream thoughts, the manifestation will be a dream only.
So I think what our learned panel is saying just now is that it is not just important to have the desire, but how we express it, and then what is our filtering power. That means, do we understand that is it good for us, and then is it just an obsession, or is it going to elevate us? So what is our motivation behind it?